Get ready for a cosmic journey as Omni-Man's past unfolds. Episode 4 of Invincible is a wild ride through love, betrayal, and a showdown with the relentless Viltrumites. Brace yourself for a breakdown like never before. This is Season 2, Episode 4, Breakdown. Oh, I'm so excited. So you and me both were all wondering where Omni-Man left after his fight with his son Mark. Well, we finally got the answer. He went to the planet Thraxa. But how did he end up there? Well, you see, after Nolan Grayson, aka Omni-Man, left Earth, he was sad. He roamed around the galaxy for so long, he went from planet to planet, and he was just wandering. Why? Because he was sad and he was confused. He didn't know what to do next.
Down for your gold. The cripple here that you clothe and feed is neither.
One day when he was just wandering around some more, he saw a ship losing its control, and it was about to crash and all the people would die inside. If that happened. Omni-Man saved them, so I guess he's not all evil at this point, I think. And turns out the people inside that ship were Thraxans. After being saved by Nolan, they invited him to their planet. One thing led to another, and they made him their leader. Oh, and one more thing led to another, and guess what it was? Nolan got all freaky with one of those creatures and had a baby. So I guess Omni-Man wasn't chosen to conquer planets. He was chosen so he could make love on different planets. Intergalactic love making. Bow, chicka, bow, wow. So how did Mark respond after seeing Omni-Man? Well, first of all, he was emotional, and second, he was angry, like really angry. He was angry that his father left him, and he didn't even apologize. So Mark told Omni-Man to go F himself.
Fuck you.
Understandable, but Omni-Man tries to stop him by telling him that he needs his help. He did actually, but what was it? I'll get into it in a little bit, but don't you want to know how Mark responded to Omni-Man making love to an ant or whatever it is looking creature? Well, the tea being spilled is that Mark was furious as expected, and he told Omni-Man to F himself again, understandable, but turns out Omni-Man made a baby with that alien, and he is now Mark's brother. Interesting.
This is your little brother.
Mark was really mad at first, but he later made peace with that by realizing that his baby brother will be attacked soon by Viltrumites when they find him, and they'll kill him.
They'll track me, and they'll find this planet. And when they do, they'll see your brother as inferior and kill him.
So yes, that's why Nolan needed Mark's help. To save the planet of Thraxa, its people, his son, and his new wife. And talking of his wife, what about Debbie? Is she in a better place now? Well, nope. No, she's not. She can be seen walking barefoot on the public roads, and she's visiting Nolan's grave, which she knows is a fake grave, which is interesting. Still, she goes there and she starts crying about what happened and why that happened to her.
Why me?
And now that she's got all that out, she takes her first step towards moving on. She starts off by deciding to not accept the money that comes with Nolan's books.
I don't want Nolan's book money. Your money.
Which, as you all know by now, we really hope for justice for this character, and the sooner that happens, the better it is. Now, coming back to Mark, did he join his father's cause to fight the Viltrumites in order to save the Thraxans? Well, he did, but was he powerful enough to face 1,000-year-old Viltrumites? No. He needed training.
We can start training right away.
But Mark and Nolan were hit with another surprise. Now, it doesn't matter if Mark was prepared or not, he's left with no other option than fighting these Viltrumites. And guess who he had to face first? Lucan. To sum up Lucan in 3 words, he's freaking huge! Look at him! Invincible gets easily thrashed by most of the supervillains, and he had to face this monster of a Viltrumite. And guess what happened? To give you a reference, he was literally submitted by Lucan using a finger.
Are you sure you're Nolan's son? I'm not an insect like these creatures.
Ouch. So all in all, he got thrashed. Luckily though, Omni-Man came just in time to save his son, and guess how long it took Omni-Man to beat this guy up? Less than 1 minute? That's unfair, he's so freaking powerful. Now they had to face 2 more Viltrumites. Before we get into the fight, we get to see Omni-Man facing a war in his mind. He sees Thraxans slaughtered by 2 other Viltrumites, and he's angry about why he cares about these creatures. He's a Viltrumite, he's not supposed to be that way, but he did that anyways.
I'll kill you for what you did to these people.
And he started the brawl with 2 other Viltrumites, Vidor and Thula. Mark took on Thula and Nolan fought Vidor. And what a fight it was. At first Mark was getting thrashed as usual, but his father tells him to fight the way he is. He ordered him to fight to kill. And by seeing the destroyed dead bodies of innocent Thraxans, something clicked inside of Mark and he got angry. And Mark channeled his inner Hulk smash attitude. And that was when we first realized why this boy is the main guy. Why he's the hero. He almost killed Thula. couldn't complete that though because of his innocence and kind heart. And that came with a hefty price though. Tula stabbed Mark in the stomach and he was almost dead. As she was going to finish him, he was saved by his father, who had already dismantled his opponent by now. Man, Omni-Man is the real freaking deal. But as soon as they both thought it was over, Nolan was kicked into the spine by Lucan. We thought he was dead, but he wasn't. Whatever. Guy had his intestine bulged out and then stabbed with a rock, and he's still alive.
Next time you kill somebody, make sure they're dead.
Anyways, he broke Omni-Man's spine and Mark was laying on the floor almost dead from Tula's attack. And what happened to them afterwards? Well, I'll get into that in a bit. So let's talk about our forgotten ones first. About Donald, Adam, Eve, and the Maulers. Well, we know Donald was dead in the first season. He was. And he found out about that in this season. So you see, until now, he was unaware of what happened. He had no clue whatsoever. But things changed when he came to visit Debbie. He saw a hole in the ground, and as he moved closer to inspect it, he saw a speck just like his. He was amazed. His curiosity led him to watch old videos of Grayson's house surveillance camera footage, and that's where he saw what happened, and he was shooketh, to say the least. He went after the bathroom and kinda did not a good thing, and after seeing the blood, he felt relieved. Well, why? We guess he was happy to know he was a robot or something, but we'll be sure of what happens in the coming seasons, and let's just wait to find out. Alright, let's get back to Adam and Eve. She's already distant from people because she's sad about the fact that every time she tries to help someone, something bad happens. Haha, sucks to be her. Like, be it helping her parents or people. As she was trying to move on from this, she got into a fight with Kill Cannon.
Should have packed your bags better, robot.
Kill Cannon. Did you ever pick the wrong night to rob this place?
Adam, Eve.
And in that fight, a couple died, and she was shattered again.
Help! I need help here!
Check for breathing and pulse.
And now she's in a worse place than she previously was. Man, I hope she finds some happiness soon. She can never catch a break. Alright, coming back to the Maulers. The injured Mauler makes the clone of himself, and this time we know for sure who the real one is.
For the first time, we know exactly who's the original and who's the inferior.
Because the real one was injured. Now the real one was happy that he was the real one. And before this happiness could last, he was poisoned and killed by his clone. What? And now this clone, he's going to make more copies of himself. Probably more than one copy this time. I can tell he's up to something and he's got a plan. Only time will tell what it is though. Now let's turn our attention back to Mark and Nolan. So Mark had his stomach ripped open, that's fun. And Nolan had his spine shattered, not so fun. And the Viltrumites came and they took Nolan into a ship, and guess what they were gonna do? They were gonna execute him. And these were the words of Craig. He's the general of the Viltrumite army.
My name is General Krieg.
And guess what else he told Mark apart from the fact that he's going to execute his father? He threatened Mark. He asked him to kill a few people on Earth to instill Viltrumite fear in them, or he would come with the Viltrumite army and kill millions on Earth.
You can kill a few humans to convince them to capitulate, or we will kill millions if we arrive to find you or your planet still defiant against us.
And guess what Nolan told Mark while he was being carried into the Viltrumite ship? He told him to remember the good he did.
Don't forget the good I did. My work, my deeds, my books.
And now Mark is left with a dilemma. His father finally starts feeling something, but he's being taken away from him. But he wants Mark to remember all the good he did. And on the other hand, he's been given choices by General Craig. But what will Mark do? Will he try to save Omni-Man? If yes, how will he do that? And is the story of Omni-Man over? And what decision will Mark make? He was given two choices by General Craig to prepare Earth for Viltrumite rule. That means kill some people, to surrender to Viltrumite rule without riding back or resisting, or when Viltrumites find Mark and his planet, they'll slaughter millions. So, you know, it's kind of a tough deal. It's Mark's choice now. How will he choose to fight back these powerful Viltrumites if he decides to? Well, we're gonna find out in the coming episodes, and boy, it's gonna be fun. Until then, let us know what you think Mark will do and how. See you next time.